The stars screamed silent warnings as my shuttle pierced the veil of the nebula, but nothing prepared me for the voice that shattered the void, a woman's plea, raw and alien, echoing through my comms. My children haven't eaten for days, feed them, and I'll be yours forever. I froze in the pilot's seat, my gloved hands hovering over the controls. Captain Elias Thorne, veteran of the United Earth Exploratory Fleet, reduced to a heartbeat pounding against my ribs. The signal was weak, looping like a distress beacon from the ghost of a world long forgotten. Scans showed a derelict structure orbiting a rogue planet, its hull cracked like an eggshell under cosmic pressure. No life signs, or so the instruments lied. But that voice, it wasn't human. It carried the timbre of wind through crystal caves, laced with desperation that clawed at my soul. I adjusted course, ignoring protocol. Curiosity? Compassion? Or the loneliness of deep space gnawing at me after years of charting empty voids? The shuttle docked with a shutter, magnetic clamps sealing against the alien metal. Airlock cycled, and I stepped into darkness, flashlight beam cutting through floating debris. Dust motes danced like lost souls. "Hello?" I called, my voice muffled by the helmet. No answer, but a faint hum vibrated through the floor, life hidden and waiting. What I found next defied every training sim I'd ever run. A chamber vast and organic, walls pulsing with bioluminescent veins. In the center, a figure huddled over crystalline pods, her form ethereal, skin shimmering like oil on water. She turned, eyes like fractured stars meeting mine. "You came," she whispered, her lips not moving, the words blooming in my mind. Telepathy. Alien. Real. Her name was Lyriel, or that's how my brain translated it. A guardian of the Voreth, a nomadic race who'd fled their dying star system eons ago. The ship was their ark, now crippled by a solar flare that fried their nutrient synthesizers. Her children, dozens of them, slumbered in those pods, larval forms starving in stasis. "Feed them," she pleaded again, her mental voice trembling. "Your essence human. It is compatible. Give, and I bind to you eternally." Essence? My mind reeled. Not blood, not food. Life force siphoned through some symbiotic link. A trade, their survival for my companionship forever. But as I stared into her eyes, a deeper hunger stirred in me. Isolation had carved hollows in my heart since losing my family to the earth plagues. Was this salvation or a trap? I hesitated, but the pods dimmed, a child's faint cry echoing in my thoughts. I nodded. The link formed, a warm rush like sunlight in veins. Energy flowed, and the pods glowed. But that was only the beginning. The surge left me dizzy, kneeling on the cold floor, as Lyriel's gratitude washed over me like a tide. "You are strong, Elias Thorne," she said, her form solidifying, tendrils of light weaving around my suit. The children stirred, tiny forms uncurling within the crystals, their minds brushing mine with innocent curiosity. "Hello, feeder. Hello, father." I recoiled, "Father?" The bond was deeper than I'd imagined, imprinting me as kin. We talked through the night cycle, or what passed for it in the void. Lyriel explained the Voreth, shapeshifters, energy beings who bonded with hosts to traverse the stars. Their homeworld, Voreth Prime, had collapsed into a black hole, scattering survivors. This ship, the Elisera, was one of the last. "We seek a new cradle," she said, projecting images of verdant worlds into my mind. But pirates, human scavengers, had trailed them, drawn by rumors of alien tech. As if summoned, alarms blared. My shuttle's sensors picked up incoming vessels, 3 sleek raiders, engines hot with pursuit. "They come for us," Lyriel warned, her eyes flashing. "For the children." Panic surged. I'd fed them, but could I protect them? I grabbed my plasma rifle, heart racing. The first breach shook the hull, boots thumping in the corridors. Gunfire echoed as I ambushed the intruders in the docking bay. Laser bolts scorched the air, one grazing my arm, pain blooming hot and real. "Surrender the artifacts," their leader barked, a scarred man named Garrick, eyes greedy behind his visor. Artifacts? They meant the pods. I fired back, dropping one, but they pressed on. Lyriel appeared then, shifting into a whirlwind of light, disorienting them. Together, we repelled the boarders, sealing the breach with emergency foam. Panting, I slumped against the wall. Why me? I asked her, blood trickling down my suit. She touched my wound, healing it with a glow. Because you listened. Humans ignore pleas, you answered. But doubt crept in. The bond tugged at my thoughts, her emotions bleeding into mine. Fear for her young, a fierce protectiveness. Was I still me or becoming something else? We fled the orbit, engines straining as the raiders gave chase. Lyriel's knowledge guided me. Hidden warp paths through the nebula, shortcuts woven from quantum folds. The children awoke, fully now, their forms emerging as luminous wisps, orbiting us like playful spirits. One latched onto my arm, a tiny voice in my head. Thank you, Elias. It felt, right? Warm. But the pursuit intensified, Garrick's voice crackling over comms. That alien whore's got tech worth billions. Hand her over or we space you. Whore? Rage boiled in me. Hers and mine intertwined. We evaded into an asteroid field, rocks tumbling like dice in fate's game. A near miss sheared off a stabilizer, alarms wailing. Lyriel stabilized the ship with her energy, but it drained her. I cannot hold forever, she admitted, her form flickering. The children clustered around her, worried hums filling the air. In the calm after the storm, as we drifted hidden, she shared more. The Vorith weren't just survivors. They were keepers of ancient knowledge, star maps to lost civilizations, tech that could end humanity's resource wars. But it comes at a cost, she said. The bond changes you. Makes you us. I felt it already. Heightened senses, glimpses of her memories. A lover lost in the collapse, children from that union. Jealousy flickered, irrational but real. What secrets did she hide? As we repaired the ship, I accessed the Elisara's logs. Encrypted, but the bond granted access. Horror unfolded. The Vorith had bonded with species before, sometimes consuming them if the host proved unworthy. Was I Emil? Doubt poisoned the link, Lyriel sensing it. Trust me, Elias, she pleaded, but trust in the void is fragile. The raiders found us again, this time with reinforcements. A brutal space battle ensued, lasers carving the darkness. I piloted evasive maneuvers, Lyriel channeling energy into shields. One child, brave little Aloan, projected illusions, ghost ships confusing the enemy. We destroyed two, but the lead vessel rammed us, boarding parties swarming. Chaos in the corridors. Shouts, blasts, the acrid smell of burnt wiring. I fought hand to hand, fists connecting with armored foes. Garrick cornered me in the pod chamber, rifle aimed. The kids first, he sneered. Lyriel surged forward, but he fired a stun bolt hitting her, her form collapsing. Enraged, I tackled him, wrestling for control. The children screamed in my mind, their fear amplifying mine. I won, barely, snapping his neck in desperation. The remaining raiders fled, but the damage was done. Lyriel lay still, her light dim. Save them, she whispered. The bond weakened. My energy, the only thing keeping her alive. But the children needed it, too. A choice, her or them. None of us were prepared for the truth that followed. As the ship limped toward a neutral space station, Zeta outpost, I tended to Lyriel. The bond deepened, her thoughts mingling with mine like rivers converging. Memories flooded, not just loss, but a war. The Vorith hadn't fled a natural disaster. They'd been exiled for experimenting with forbidden tech, life-weaving, merging species into hybrids. We sought perfection, she confessed, pain lacing her voice. But it destroyed us, guilt twisted in her. Her children weren't born. They were created, spliced from captured essences. Including human ones? Probes sent to Earth centuries ago, abductions dismissed as myths. My ancestors? The revelation hit, like a supernova. You used us, I accuse, pulling away. But the bond held, her sorrow overwhelming. To survive, forgive me. At Zeta, we docked under false IDs. The station was a melting pot, humans, androids, fringe aliens bartering in shadowed bays. I sought parts for repairs, but whispers followed. bounties on alien artifacts. Garrick's crew had spread word. Paranoia set in. The children, now manifesting as childlike forms, stayed hidden, their innocence clashing with the gritty underworld. I met an old contact, Dr. Mira Voss, a xenobiologist with a soft spot for strays. "Elias, you look like hell," she said over synth coffee in a dingy cantina. I confided partially, the derelict, the plea. Her eyes widened. "Vorith? Legends say they're soul leaders." Doubt seeded deeper. But as we talked, alarms blared, station security raiding our bay. We escaped, narrowly, Lyriel rallying enough to cloak the ship. But in the frenzy, one child was captured, Eloan, her bright spirit snuffed from a link. Agony ripped through us. "They'll dissect her," Lyriel cried, collapsing. "My fault. I vowed retrieval. Infiltration plan. Hack Zeta systems, locate the holding cell." The bond granted me Lyriel's abilities, phasing through walls briefly, a ghost in the machine. Sneaking through vents, I overheard officials. "The specimen's energy output is off the charts. Could power a fleet." Greed, always greed. The rescue was tense, guards dropping silently under stun fire. Eloan, weakened in a containment field, reached for me. "Father." We fled, but pursuit hounded us, a Federation cruiser now, alerted by the bounty. Deeper into uncharted space we ran, toward Vorith remnants Lyriel sensed. The children grew, learning from my memories, Earth's oceans, laughter of lost loved ones. It humanized them, but alienated me further. Inner conflict raged. Was I savior or slave? A betrayal loomed. Dr. Voss contacted me privately. "Elias, the Vorith are parasites. Break the bond before it's too late." Proof attached, logs of devoured hosts. Lyriel denied it, but cracks showed. "Not all of us," she insisted. Trust fractured. The mid-story turning point exploded upon us like a wormhole collapse. We reached the remnant fleet, a cluster of Vorith ships, majestic but battle-scarred. They welcomed Lyriel as kin, but scanned me. "Host is compatible," their elder intoned. "Initiate full merge." Full merge? Horror dawned. The plea wasn't just for food, it was recruitment. Lyriel's forever meant assimilation into the collective, my individuality erased for their evolution. "You lied." I shouted, backing away. She wept mentally. "To save them. I love you now, Elias. Truly." The children pleaded, "Don't leave us." But the elder advanced, tendrils extending. Fight or flight. I chose fight, grabbing a disruptor from the armory. Blasts lit the hangar, Vorith form scattering. Lyriel sided with me, betraying her own. "For you," she said, shielding us. We escaped the fleet, but the bond strained, her betrayal costing energy. The children, loyal to us both, split. Some stayed, others fled back. Heartbreak echoed in the void. Limping to a habitable moon, we crash-landed amid crystalline forests mirroring the pods. There, in the glow of twin suns, truths unraveled. Lyriel revealed the full history. The experiments were born of desperation, but she'd opposed them. Exiled with her created young, she sought a pure bond. "With you, it's real," she vowed. But the Federation closed in, scanner sweeping. Final stand. I rigged the ship as a decoy, drawing fire while we hid in caves. Battles raged overhead, debris raining like meteors. In the depths, intimacy bloomed. Her form wrapped mine, sharing essences without consumption. Love, alien and human, bridged the gap. The children thrived on the moon's energies, independent now. The confrontation peaked. Federation troops stormed the caves, led by Voss, revealed as a double agent seeking Vorith tech for her own gain. "You could have been rich," she sneered, rifle raised. Lyriel unleashed her full power, a nova of light disintegrating the squad. But Voss fired a fatal shot, piercing Lyriel's core. Dying in my arms, she whispered, "They are fed. We are free." Energy transferred to me, the bond severing gently. The children gathered, their forms evolving. Hybrids, ready for new worlds. I led them onward, a changed man, human no more, yet more alive. The stars beckoned, promises of homes unbound. and as we launched into the infinite, her final echo lingered, forever yours. But in the quiet voids between stars, I wondered, was forever a gift or a curse? The answer, like the universe, expanded endlessly.